Good morning, everybody. It's the Saints man, the small van driver on the CX. It's actually Thursday. I'm doing the days in the life of from Monday to Wednesday. It's Thursday. In fact, it's not morning. It's 12:15, and I'm in Cambridge between jobs. So, quickly going back, started Monday. I'd already got a load on from Friday to Bristol, and I could get to Bristol as early as I like, really. They open at 8 o'clock. I got to Bristol about 8:30. Tipped one tip. It was 12 boxes. Yeah, 12 boxes. Got 87 quid for that, which was good. Bristol, it's going to sound strange, but on Monday, Bristol's normally a really good area. There are good areas in the country, and Bristol is normally one of them. I'll come to what happened Tuesday. It comes up Wednesday after that. Yeah, normally a good area, and it was straight away. Got a job even before I tipped in Bristol. I got a job from Bristol to Greenford, which is West London, and it was taking 2 boxes. It was 2 boxes of something very small, but it was from Bristol, and it was, yeah, it was a box, and it was like another sort of bag. So I tipped the first one at 8:30, jumped on the second one. It needed to be picked up before 9:30. And I got there, it was only about a 2-3 mile away, but Bristol could still be a pain. It took me about 20 minutes. Picked Bristol up, straight along the M4, up the 25 and the M40 to Greenford. Another good area. So we started off really well. And that one I quoted 85 quid. And got that one. And delivered to Greenford. Just along from Northolt it was. On the left-hand side, there's Industrial Estate, Business Park. I've done quite a bit in there. There's a couple of big companies in there that I've done work for, and I decided that I've got to get some fuel. I've been to Bristol, been to Greenford. There's an Asda on the A40, the other side of the road. I think it's an Asda, Sainsbury's, something like that. But it's cheap fuel. It's Asda. It is Asda. There's a McDonald's there and an Asda. So queuing up for fuel, and the jobs are pinging up because Greenford's a really good area, right near Heathrow, and all around that area there is always a good area. But jobs were going for cheap, and to be honest, I weren't looking for much anyway. I was parked in Asda, so I'd come about 2 miles from where I tipped, and a job popped up to Greenford to Andover, which was very strange because it was 2 doors along from where I tipped. If I'd have stayed exactly where I was, I would have literally could have walked to it. But I was about 2 miles and I went back to it, and it was Greenford to Andover, and it was from a film company delivering cameras to, it was a unit on a farm. It wasn't in Andover itself, it was about 4 miles south of Andover. So quoted on that one quite keenly because I wanted to get out of London. I didn't want to be messing around London, and because I was so close to it, I quoted 55. But what I made sure I was, when I got the load on, this is a good tip, there is loads to Slough COVID samples from different areas: Reading, Guildford, Fleet, Andover, picking up 10 to 4. So knowing I would get to Andover about 2:15, 2:30, I went onto my laptop then on the desktop, which I put in Andover. Sure enough, there's Andover 10 to 4. So I quoted on that before I even left Greenford, and I got the job. I quoted quite competitively. And over to Slough, I looked through my book, I've done it a few times, and I quoted £55. It's only 62 miles, but sometimes they struggle to get that job done. And she phoned straight away and sent it straight over to me. So Monday was a brilliant day. I delivered Greenford, picked it up. It's about 6 cameras in aluminium cases. Found it straight away. In Andover, south of Andover, 4 miles south, and delivered. The sun is really bright here. It's really strange. I'm in an Asda car park in Cambridge, and then I got a bit of time. I got about three quarters of an hour to an hour to kill. So popped over to Andover, which I'd done the previous video, and it was a small video, 7 minutes, and that's where I did that video from because I got about an hour to kill. And then I picked up from Andover. I'd done it a few times. Car park, back at Regis, little car park, lovely lady there, chucking it down the rain, absolutely belting down the rain. But that was it. So back to Slough, tipped it in Slough, the pod around the back of the Regis in Bath Road. Been there a fair few times now. And I thought, got a choice now, look for more jobs. But I'd already done a massive day. I left home at 6 in the morning, and now it was best part of 5 o'clock. So decided, sod it, I've got enough money, I can drive home. Slough was about 65 miles. Could have kept in the van, but I thought no. But I phoned up my regular shipper to say I would be back. Is there anything for the morning? He says, I'm glad you phoned, because I was just about to phone you. He said, are you coming? I says, yeah, I can come to Northampton. He says, yeah, call in. He said, I've got a load for tomorrow. So on the way home, I called in, picked up. It was about 25 past 6, and picked the load up, and it was for 4 drops the next day, a long day on the Tuesday, and I was home by 7 o'clock. So I did 13-hour day, 462 miles I managed. Most of it was driving. It flowed. I did about 10 hours, I think, in total, something like that. But I got £282, so it's a mega day for a small van. And I was home by before 7, just before 7. And that's Monday. Tuesday, I'd already got the load on the back. I'd got 4 drops. I'd got Oxford, Cheltenham, Cardiff, Exeter. And that was my money for the day, right there. I got £200. CX, it was, wasn't through the CX, it was a regular shipper. He does the mileage, he works the mileage out. I send him my pence per mile. He knows my pence per mile, he knows what I do. I charge a good pence per mile. It's a good rate. I don't charge him a drops. There can be 4, 5, 6, there can be 2. I just do it as a pence per mile, whatever the total mileage is. And I got £200 for that job. And it was strange, because normally don't do Oxford, I normally start at Cheltenham. So I can be in Cheltenham for 8 o'clock. But Oxford, I had to be in Oxford for 7:45. But I still got them done. I had a break at Cardiff, I still got them done by 2 o'clock. In fact, yeah, less than that, 1:30. I was done. Exeter. So started at 6, done by 1:30 easy, and I had a break in Cardiff. I shouldn't say this because my missus here, I found a beautiful burger van in Cardiff. Can't tell you what it's called. It begins with a K, but it's really nice. It's in a little, just before the centre of Cardiff, so that's all sorted. Yeah, I had my breakfast there and had a coffee, and then used the toilet in where I was delivering in Cardiff, and then to Exeter. And I thought to myself, well, if I don't get anything else, I'm done by now. I can perhaps have a little wander around Exeter Cathedral and all that. The weather was still not brilliant, and nothing was coming through on the CX. Absolutely nothing. Then a strange thing happened. Phone went. Didn't recognise the number. I've normally got all the shippers' numbers under their name, so I know who they are. It wasn't a shipper I knew. Well, it was actually. And it was a lady phoned me up. Says, Dave, I see you're in Exeter and you say you're available. Can you do a job for me? And I thought, I recognise her voice, but I couldn't quite sure. I says, yeah, can I? Says, what you got? And she says, it's 2 pickups Exeter, 1 in Axminster, 1 in Bruton, Bruton, from chemists. And it's picking up COVIDs, and it's taking it to Bristol, meeting our driver who's taking it on. I went, okay. And it wasn't on the CX tool, it was a direct job, which I've done a few, and I recognised the voice then, and I thought, I've done a job for you before, but it was a bloke who was involved a few months ago, and it was up north, Rotherham to Sheffield, and that was picking COVIDs up, and it was a right pain. But I thought, right, so work the mileage out. I told her what per mile. I put the drops on. I said it's a £5 per pickup and a £5 the drop, so you got 25 quid to add on whatever the mileage is. So it was really good money. She says it's got to be at, he's meeting him at a train station. He's in a van, he's going to park at a train station, and then he'll take it on from there. And you're meeting him at, you've got to be no later than 7 o'clock at night. And it was a fair old bit of mileage. The weather was pants. I said, right. So I said, give me the addresses. I said, that's how much we agreed the price. I couldn't see how I get on. Which he did, all through WhatsApp. Nothing on the CX. And I went to the first chemist, 3:15. In Exeter. It was only about 2 miles from it. And it's just, we're not ready till 4:45. Well, that's a great start. So she said, keep her informed. So I phoned her up and said, well, the first one's not ready till 4:45. I'm going to go to the second one, then I'll come back on myself. So I did. I come back and I did the second one, which was only a mile down the road. Come back to the first one, picked them 2 up. They were only COVID bags, sealed COVID bags. Drove to Axminster. I've done Axminster, a couple of jobs from Axminster. It's not a very big place, but I've picked 2 or 3 jobs up there in the last couple of months, because from Exeter, it's worth, you know, I can get across there. I picked up from the chemist there, and it was getting close to time now. I think my struggle here. I did get a Bruton, B-R-U-T-O-N, Bruton. It's a village post office. Got there and put in the postcode where the driver was going to be, and I was going to get there at 7:15, so I was 15 minutes. And on the other sat nav it says 7 o'clock. So we went with the Google, and then we hit a bit more traffic going out from around the Bath. I went around bottom of Bath, up the hill, 46. I jumped on the motorway because that's where it's the quickest way, even though it's a few more miles. And I did meet him. I got to Bristol Parkway at about 5 to 7. It was about 5 minutes. He had to be gone at 7. I presume he's driving to London. I don't know, but I won't really bother. But I did get there 5 minutes to spare. It was tight, and I didn't stop. I kept the speed limit roughly-ish. I give the van a good thrashing, but it was worth it. It was 3.5 hours, and I got 110 quid for that. For 3 hours, time I got going. 3.5 hours, so total. So 110 quid. Yeah, it's 30 quid an hour. So that was worth doing. So that day then turned out to be a really good day. I ended up with £310, which is over 300, which very rarely happens, guys. But did 420 miles, £310, another 13-hour day, because I'm looking for somewhere to park for the night. Hotels are gone at the moment. They're finished because they're 60 quid. Anything in Bristol, unless you want to doss in a hostel with 18-year-olds that haven't washed for a month. I don't know, not me. But there's nothing under 50 quid, 55, 60 quid. So it was back in the van, and I found a park for night. I went to Avonmouth, actually. Went round to Cribbs Causeway. I went to Morrison's, got some food in Cribbs Causeway. Thought about staying there, actually. I thought, should I stay here? But there was a sign on there saying you couldn't. So Avonmouth, there's an industrial park, estate near Avonmouth docks. A lot of lorries parked there, and there's burger vans and all that, and it seems quite quiet. So I parked there and had the worst night's sleep in living history. Nothing to do with the traffic, more to do with the weather. Yeah, Hotel Bolingo became a tin roof with storm, rain, lightning, sheet lightning. I could have read a book, and it didn't just go on for 20 minutes, it went on for nearly all night. I did get to sleep. I remember seeing 1:30, and then the next thing I knew it was 3 something, and it was still absolutely hammering down on the roof. So crap night's sleep Tuesday night, but I've had 2 mega days, so it sort of makes the rest of the week easy. So Wednesday, I got up early anyway. I went to Gordana Services from Avonmouth, just down the road, got a shower, washed up, got a wash, grabbed a coffee, and the weather had stopped raining, but it was pretty wild. It was done that all by about 8:15. Decided to go to Morrison's again, which is Cribbs Causeway. It's my favourite little spot. Yeah, just like it. Nice grub. Got myself a bacon roll and a coffee for 2 quid. Oh, another tip, because I went back with my mug. If you get a takeaway coffee, you take your own mug, 25p off. And all I do is you don't need to bring it out and tip it in mine anyway, because it's insulated. So 2 quid for a large coffee. I just had a regular coffee. She says, oh, that'll just fit a regular coffee. And I said, yeah, I know it fits a large in. She filled it up anyway. 2 quid. Really nice coffee. But then, where I said Monday, Bristol, easy to get a job. I sat from 8:45. Didn't get a job until 10:15. I wasn't fussed though, because I'd had 2 really good days. I'm getting back home for bike night. I ain't having 2 nights in the van. It's getting a bit cooler. So I'm looking for jobs nearer home. And there was one there from Thornby to Swindon. Not far. I think it's about 48 miles. And I was not far from it. I think it's about 55 miles all in. Quoted 40 quid. Going to a hospital. Not in Swindon. It was a village private hospital. Picking up residential. Picked it up. Lady there. Seemed a bit vague. what can I say about vague? Because she didn't, I told her where I was taking it, and she was surprised that that's where it was going, but she said, oh, I thought it was going North Yorkshire. I went, well, I don't know, I'm taking the shipper, I said, who I work for, they've sent this to me, and that's where I'm taking it. She said, so she phoned up someone, and they said to her, yeah, it can go there, and someone's going to pick it up and take it on. So she was happy about that. I phoned the shipper, said, this is what's happening. They said, okay. And she says, that's good, because they thought that's what was happening. So I takes it to this hospital. Sorry, big crud. Yeah, I took this hospital, and they didn't know anything about it. Not one thing. Very posh private hospital, not your massive gem. This was a very small hospital. No A&E, it's just private. They knew absolutely nothing about it, not a sausage. Didn't even know who this woman was who sent it, and nothing. And it wasn't sealed, it was open. So the lady says, can I have just a quick look? I won't touch anything to see if I recognise what it is. It was all promotion stuff for some private health thing. She said, no. She said, I'd rather not take that because I don't know what it is, and none of us here do. Can you phone your shipper? Phone your office. So I did. They said, give us a few minutes. They come back. Sure enough, she'd give them a bum steer. The customer would give the shipper a bum steer. And the shipper says, can I be cheeky? They want this now to go to Birmingham? Yes. I didn't say that. I just went, oh, really? They said, yeah, because it's going to a transport hub. Can you take it? I said, well, I wasn't really going that way, but yeah, if you want me to. I says, but this is, I don't know how many miles it is. I haven't got the mileage from here to Birmingham. Can you put this address in? The address it's going to, tell me what the mileage is. She told me the mileage. I says, well, I'll quote this pence per mile. I'll put my top rate on. And she went, that's fine. She says, yeah. She says, we'll go with that. She says, that's fine. So I said to the lady, it's fair enough. It's going to Birmingham now. It's somewhere else. Obviously mistaken. So I took it to Birmingham. It wasn't that bad, actually. It wasn't that far. I went along Swindon all the way along 319, I think it is. Fast road up the M5, and it was going to Kings Norton. I think that rings a bell. The south of Birmingham. So it was Hopwood Services. Get off of there and up into Birmingham. You went in the middle bit of Birmingham yourself, so it was even better. And when I was getting there, I was thinking, I've been this place before. And it was on a little industrial estate in Kings Norton, and I'd done a pickup from over the road, and it was a big transport logistics company. So I gets there, and on my CX app now, I've got it says for the attention of Tom or Ben. So I thought, right, got a name now. So I went in, said, I've got 2 parcels delivering, and the bloke says, do you know where they come from? I said, they come from this, and they just won't do anything about it. I said, well, have you got a Tom or a Ben here? Oh yeah, we've got a Ben. So Ben comes out, he don't know anything about it. These parcels are, it seems I've had them on forever. It's now 2 o'clock, and I'm like, well, someone, I said, let me phone my office again. So I phone my office again. Oh, I says, is Tom around? Oh, that's my boss. So he said, I'll ask him. He says, but he's in a meeting. He says, but I said, well, it's got Ben or Tom. He said, well, yeah, I'm Ben. He said, but I don't know anything about this. So it's sat at the back of my van. So now I'm phoning the shipper again. And they're lovely. The shippers are lovely. I mean, I've worked for them a couple of times. They're based in Devon. Yeah, Devon. And they're really nice people. But I'm getting a bit like, just want these parcels off. Someone take responsibility. And then she says, oh, I've got another name. She said, who knows about it? Apparently, Tom had told this bloke, Jeff, see Jeff Folks or something. Go to him, see him. So I got back. The forklift driver got the ump because I was parked a little bit in the way, but I thought, well, if he gets his parcel off, I'll get out the bloody way. So I said to him, have you got a Jeff? Yeah. He said, he's back over there. So I went back and didn't find Jeff Folks. I found someone who knew Jeff Folks. And then I found Tom. He came out of the meeting. He said, oh yeah, I took that. He says, Jeff knows all about it. He said, if you go and see Jeff, I said, I would if I could find him. So he told this lad to go find Jeff Folks. He got stickers to put on them, and it was being forwarded. So eventually that took about 45 minutes, probably nearly an hour. Would I normally do waiting charge? Yeah, probably. Yeah, because it weren't too bad picking up, but I've got the money. I got 104 for that. And I thought, you know what, I ain't going to bother with the waiting charge. I'm in Birmingham. I just want a job home. I'm going to the bike night, All Citizens Cafe, yes, tonight. So I just want a job from Birmingham somewhere to Northampton or something like that. So I pulled out and I thought, I'm going to go back to Upwood Services, 4.5 miles away. Going to have something to eat, going to use the toilet, chill out, which I did. And jobs didn't pop in much. There wasn't nothing going my way. Stuff going north, stuff going Teesside. We'll go to Edinburgh, but I'm not staying out at night. I want to get home. And then a job did pop out from Birmingham to Coventry. And I was 5 miles from it. So, and it was only 25 miles. So it's 30 mile all in. I quoted 32. He said, he phoned me straight up and says, you're right to that job. It's a stillage. Have you got straps? I said, yeah, I've got straps. He says, it's a stillage going to Coventry, one firm to another. I said, fair enough. Send it through and I'll do it. It was opposite the road to where I dropped the 2 parcels off. I'd gone 4 miles to Upwood, so when I left Upwood I went back to the same industrial estate opposite the road, and I'd got to pick up at 4:30, and I thought I'd deliver that to Coventry by about 5:15, bike night by another 45 minutes, 6 o'clock, and I thought I'd just have a shit day money wise, but at least it's a chill out. I had 2 long ones, and I got there and he says, yep, it's ready. I went in early. I went in about 4:10. I could see there was no one in the goods in bit. Really nice engineering company. I have done a job from them before, a long while ago. And he says, I says, come to pick up for Coventry. Told him where the address is. Oh yeah, he says, that's ready now. He said, we've done it. He said, I'll just do the paperwork. He says, I said, yep, small van. I said, I'm out there in a small van. Yeah, that's no problem. So when I opened the back of the van, 5 minutes later, he come out with 2 stillages, not 1, 2. You'd have struggled to get them in you'd just about got them in a transit or a long wheelbase. So he looked at the van, I looked at him, I went, they've sent her. I said, then you should have had a bigger van. I said, I don't know why they've sent this. He said, they sent that because I ordered a small van. And he says, that's all right. He said, don't worry. He says, I'll just send 1 stillage. He says, the other one I'll put on our van tomorrow. He can just drop that in tomorrow morning. So he took one of the stillages off, and they're both slotted into each other. So he lifted one off, got the bottom one, and yeah, he put it on, and there was 4 or 5 boxes, and he altered the paperwork, and he says, I'll phone him up anyway to tell him the other one's coming tomorrow. So it was all pretty easy. Stillage filled the back of the van. It was the size of a pallet, but it was a metal stillage. Didn't need straps. Didn't know what she was on about, because it was heavy. It was best part of 300k, I think. I'm glad I didn't have far to go with it, but it was well under. My van carries 400 odd, and it's got progressive springs on the back, so it stays level. And yep, all good. Just took it to Coventry, and again, I'm getting a bit repetitive here, but I'd been to this place as well a long while ago and dropped off before, and sure enough, just backed up, opened the back doors, forklift, whack, straight in, straight out, 5 minutes, brilliant. And that was it. That was Wednesday. I did 136 quid, but I only did, in the end, I did 220 odd miles, 230 miles. It was a faff day, faffing around with the first load. It took too long. Yeah, it took me, you know, probably near 5 hours faffing around for a 2-hour job. But hey, Monday and Tuesday was good. So that's Monday to Wednesday. I've got over 100 subscribers now, so top banana with that, well done. If you do like it, please subscribe, like. It's all unedited, it's just my opinion, my rambling. Again, it's 24 minutes. Speak soon.